Doctor, go ahead.
Hello,
Yeah,
can
go
you
ahead.
hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Meeting to order. I call upon our Secretary K.R. Narayanan to start the meeting with our conventional prayer. Over to Narayanan.
Where heaven of freedom, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where the knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where the words come out from the depth of truth, where the tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the drained essence and of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-binding thought and action into the heaven of freedom, my father, let my country away. This is a recital from Heaven of Freedom by Rabindranath Tagore.
Thank you very much, Narayanan. Now, moving forward, I take the opportunity of welcoming you all, friends on same wavelength, Chennai Annanagar chapter, for our 169th meet. That is 14 years, 1 month, completed without a break. I take the opportunity of welcoming my fellow Phospholians, ICC Cupertino, Phosphol in Hyderabad, Phosphol in Chennai Annanagar as well as Adayar, Phosphol Vijayawada, and my music group friends, as well as such of those members who have joined for the first time. I welcome them all for our today's meeting, and I take the pleasure of welcoming our distinguished speaker, Sri Prakash Sesh, who is an MSc from IIT Delhi and MBA also has done. He is a very qualified person, and then he has got a lot of friends as well as groups for whom he has been addressing on different topics and is very, very popular among the people. And he has got the capability of addressing different topics at different places for different groups. It is a great privilege that he has agreed to address us today. I take the opportunity of specially welcoming him our midst to address us today. The topic what he has chosen is do Aashirwad, that is blessings work. Repeat again. Do Aashirwads or blessings, do they work is the topic he has chosen. And that is going to be a very interesting topic. Let us all listen to him, and then you can always question him for whatever doubts, any clarification you want. He'll be too happy to answer us. Apart from being a great orator, he's a great admirer of music, and he loves and sings a lot of popular Hindi songs, which he always circulates to many of his friends and groups. And he happens to be our music group member as an age group singer, and he takes part every month in our music group programs and is very, very popular. That is another additional feature with him. And now, moving on for future, much more details about his biodata, I call upon our Joint Secretary Ananda Kumar to narrate about his biodata in detail to our members. Over to Ananda Kumar, please.
Good evening, fellow Phospholians. Please meet our friendly singer speaker, retired in past District Governor Sri Prakash Shesh, who will deliberate on the efficacy of blessings. We still remember his scintillating analysis of life after death in our 148th meet and his views on why religions are popular in our 157th meet and his Hindi songs with dining table as tabla in our Chennai Annanagar music meets. MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, MSc Physics from Delhi IIT, training courses in internal audit, lead SSR for ISO 9000 of Quality Management International, UK, or his academics, bread, butter, and jam. 73 years young Sheshji is happily married to psychologist Mrs. Alka and happy father of Dr. Amit, associate professor at Boston in computer graphics, and His second son is C.A. Nitin, who works in a Pune company. He founded Creative Business Techniques in 1984 to provide management training programs for managers, executives, and students in English, Hindi, and Marathi. His firm trains youth for competitive exams and interviews by honing their communication skills and developing their personality to face GMAT, CLAT, etc. exams. Besides trading in telecommunication and office automation equipment in his business. He worked for 9 years at Tata International Limited before starting his own business. Starting as a corporate planner, he raised to become MD of Tata's Diva Tanneries. He traveled widely on business and Rotary duties. He delivered 3 TED Talks and published more than 300 articles in newspapers and magazines, and a popular book, In and Out of the Box. He conducted more than 700 management development programs of 1 or 2 days. His talks are humorous. Now, know from him the efficacy of blessings. Over to Dr. Prakash Sheshji.
Hello, welcome. Thank you very much, Anand Kumar. Now, I call upon our distinguished speaker, Prakash Sheshji, to deliver his lecture. I call all the members. After completing his lecture, there will be what is known as discussion, wherein we can discuss about the topic, whatever doubts, whatever clarifications the members require. Over to Sheshji, please. Prakash Sheshji, will you please deliver your lecture now, sir?
Yeah, please unmute yourself, sir. Please unmute yourself.
Fine. Am I clearly audible to everyone?
Very much, very much.
Very good. A hearty namaskar from me to all of you. And I am glad to be back on this organization talking to the members who received my earlier talks fairly well. Now, in my experience, I have attended many talks myself and have given talks myself. Speeches can be divided into basically 5 categories. There are some speeches where the speaker informs the audience about various things. I mean, these are like suppose you want to explain the change in tax rules and then you have a guy speaking to you on that. He's informing everyone. So we would categorize that kind of a speech as a speech which informs. Then, of course, there are speeches which teach. And we are all aware of how they teach in schools and colleges. And those are really speeches, what the teachers do there. And they intend to teach the students about whatever subject they are entrusted with. The third category of speeches is where the speaker wants to inspire the audience. I mean, suppose I was given the responsibility of inspiring all of you to join the Indian Army. I'm just taking an example. I know you're well past that age. But if I were to inspire you, then the objective of that speech would be to inspire. So one of the objectives of many speeches is to inspire. The fourth objective is to motivate. Like suppose I want you to, open your purse strings and donate money to, let's say Akshay Patra. It's a famous organization. And suppose I want to somehow motivate you into donating for that organization. Or there are many motivating speeches which cricket captains give. Today, I'm sure the Australian captain now requires to motivate his team because they are in a very bad position in the first test. So those are motivating kind of speeches. But the last category of speeches is what I call our speeches where the audience is challenged. Challenged about what? Challenged about what their beliefs are, what their biases could have been. And our topic today, whether Aashirwad and Blessings work, falls into this category. I personally like this category very much because as compared to the other 4 which I mentioned just now, this is a category which energizes your brain cells. I mean, it should energize your brain cells. Getting angry is also a way of energizing your brain cells. And it also can sensitize active thinkers. And most of us are at an age where the one activity that we can probably do as well as what we were doing when we were young is to think. And therefore, it can sensitize active thinkers, who in turn then can influence others in a positive manner. So today's speech falls under the category of challenging. Okay, let's start off by defining what blessings are. So I'll just give you a one-line definition of blessing so that most of us are clear in our mind that that's what I'm going to talk about. Now, blessing is a boon. It's a boon wished or expressed by the blesser for the person who is being blessed. So a boon means something which is very positive, something which is the opposite of blessing is a curse, जिसको हम श्राप कहते हैं. So just for you to understand it very clearly, the person who is being blessed is being told by the blesser about some things which lead to his happiness. So there are no negative things in a blessing, but the opposite of blessing, as I said, is a curse. So everything that we are going to talk today about a blessing will also be valid for a curse, because they are mirror images of each other. But we are not going to talk of curses today. We are only going to talk of blessings. But this is what a blessing is: something positively expressed by the person who is blessing to the person who is being blessed. Now, I don't think Indians need to be told about what blessings are, because they are very, very popular in India. Most of our social functions, religious functions run on this, concept of blessing. Every function in India, let it be a housewarming function or it could be a marriage or anything, you have special time slots reserved where blessings could be given, where the married couple or the newly married couple goes around touching the feet of the elderly people who are present in the audience. What for? Basically to receive blessings. So blessings are considered to be a part and parcel of almost every Indian function, and therefore I don't need to really elaborate more on that. So much so that a time slot is reserved for that. Now, you will not find this in the Western society. For example, in an American wedding, I don't think there are elders waiting to bless the newlyweds. So the amount of blessings that are part of Western functions are far lesser. The amount of time that they spend on this is far lesser than what we spend here. There are certain rules of the way blessings are given in India. So let me just reiterate them. Number one, elders bless younger people. And the reverse never happens. You will rarely see a younger person blessing an elder person. So in India, the capability of blessing or giving a blessing seems to be age-based, based on age. It's not based on competence. Now the difference is very clear. So for example, most of us have very old, in our houses in India, we have old servants who've been with us maybe for 25, 30, 40 years since the time of our parents. And whenever a new daughter-in-law comes into the family, she's asked to touch the feet of that servant also, because he's so elderly. So in India, we associate wisdom with age. I'm not going into the rights or wrongs of it. I'm only reiterating what the situation is. So in India, blessings are age-based. At least the quality of the person who's blessing is decided by his age, not by his competence. That servant in our house may not even be a matriculate, but he's giving a blessing to a daughter-in-law who has just done her PhD. So now this kind of a situation you will rarely find in any of the Western societies. Of course, apart from these blessings, we have always been asking for blessings from God, or from what we call as Almighty. Now, I will treat this chapter a little separately, because this has been a major source of blessings in India. Apart from elders blessing us, we can ourselves ask for blessings from the Almighty, and therefore it's a separate chapter. We will treat this in detail later on. Okay, let's move forward. There are some things which we have got so habituated with that we fail to realize that it actually is a blessing. Let me talk of a simple thing. We say good morning to someone. We meet somebody and we say good morning. Now, if you think about it a little deeply, good morning is also an Aashirwad. What are you wishing to that other guy? That may your morning be good, or may your evening be good, or may your night be good, or whatever. This is, of course, an English custom, not so much entrenched in our Indian situation. In our Indian situation, we are supposed to say namaskar, which is completely time neutral and which is not an Aashirwad. Namaskar clearly means that I am bowing down before the goodness inside you. Nama means I am bowing down. Before what? Before the goodness in you. So I can say namaskar to even Dawood Ibrahim when I know that there is no goodness in him. That's what our culture is all about. So namaskar is not a blessing. But most of these greetings which we have learned from the Britishers, good morning, good evening, good night, etc., are basically Aashirwads. Because they are saying, I hope your morning is good, or may your morning be good, kind of a thing. Now, there is one thing which we should pause a little bit and think. This guy who has wished me good morning, does he have the power to make my morning good? Or is it just a casual kind of a remark? He's saying good morning, I am saying thank you, or whatever I want to say, or I return that blessing, that particular expression with another good morning of mine, etc. But have we ever paused to think whether this person who has wished me good morning has the power to make my morning good? And you'll realize that we generally don't think of it. You have got so habituated that any good, the reverse may, however, happen. If a friend of yours passes by you in the office in the morning and does not say good morning to you, you may feel a little disappointed. Why didn't he say good morning? Every day he used to say good morning, but today he didn't say. So you might go into a negative kind of a spiral by his not saying good morning to you. But when he says good morning to you, you accept that as normal. Okay, this is what people do and this is what he has done to me. So therefore, but we never check. We never check whether he has really the power of making your morning good. Similarly, there are many Aashirwads which are given in Indian, for example, in marriages. Nowadays, nobody gives this Aashirwad. But I remember when I was young and when I used to attend marriages, Ashtaputra Saubhagyavati Bhava used to be a very popular kind of an Aashirwad. What it literally means is that may the newly married be blessed with 8 sons. I don't know, even in that, it was a very gender specific Aashirwad. They never said Ashtaputri Saubhagyavati Bhava. They always said Ashtaputra Saubhagyavati Bhava. Because that's our culture. We value putras more than putris. Now it's becoming a little better. But what I'm trying to tell you is that this Ashtaputra Saubhagyavati Bhava, I mean, imagine that elderly person who might be a very lovable person wishing the new bride Ashtaputra Saubhagyavati Bhava. And we say ki, does this guy have any power to really ensure that I have 8 sons? So you'll realize that many a times we accept blessings because they make us feel good, not because of actually what they are trying to say. One thing is very clear, psychologists are very clear in their minds that the person who is blessed always feels very positive. I mean, if he's cursed, as I said, it's a mirror image. So if somebody is cursed, he feels negative. But a person who is blessed, and let whatever be the blessing, he feels very positive. And psychologists say this is one advantage of blessing. The guy who is blessed is not trying to analyze what he has been blessed with, but he feels good. And when he feels good, he feels motivated, he feels energized, and therefore he might go ahead and do whatever task he is doing in a better manner than if he had not been blessed. So this is one distinct advantage of a blessing or an Aashirwad. It makes the receiver very positive and energized. And in fact, what has been blessed may have nothing to do with this positivity. He might have been blessed. Somebody might bless you saying that may you get a promotion in your office this year. Now that promotion is at least 2 months away. But that guy is so energized as a result of getting this blessing from somebody that he, in his enthusiasm, does 2 or 3 good tasks. That day while going to office, he probably helps a disabled person cross a road. He's done a good task. Why? Because he was energized with the kind of blessing somebody gave him that may you get a promotion in the office. Now the blessing was for promotion. The promotion hasn't yet taken place, but it has made the person feel so good and energized that he has gone and done something else which is good and positive. So psychologists have, long ago agreed that blessings may not actually help you achieve what they are talking about, but they will surely put you in a positive frame of mind, which will help you do the current task in hand much better than if you had not received the blessings. For example, the managing director of the company wishes you good morning in the corridor or in the lift. You are traveling accidentally with him while climbing up to your office floor. He says, "Good morning, Prakash." And you feel so thrilled, oh, the managing director, remembered my name and he wished me good morning. You go back to your table and suddenly you realize that in your enthusiasm, you are able to tally the balance sheet which was not tallying till yesterday evening. That's because you were positive and enthusiastic about receiving it. So one thing is very clear, that all blessings generate energy and positivity. And therefore, there are many people who say, if the blessings are going to generate positivity, why are you analyzing whether they work or not? They are generating positivity and they are energizing you. They are doing something good to your personality. Then what is the need to analyze whether blessings should be given? And in fact, no analysis is necessary. But analysis is necessary, because many people get, so overwhelmed with whatever blessings they get that they probably feel that everything in the world is now hunky-dory, as they say. So for that, it's necessary to analyze what blessings have you got, what energy have you got, and what positivity have you got, and is it okay really? That's what we are going to talk about. Okay, let's go to the second portion of what I said we will treat later. And that second portion was, most of us don't depend or don't wait for someone to come and bless us. All people in India are great. I mean, not only India, here even the Western society, is good at it. They constantly seek blessings from God because they want something good to happen to them. So this is a common kind of a feature, whether you do it, whether you are in India or whether you are in the Western society. You pray to your whatever God you are happy with, or your religion tells you to. You pray to God basically to receive blessings. Now, if you pray to God basically to receive blessings, many people have analyzed this, saying that, look, what happens is, suppose you are praying to God that this particular tender in Tamil Nadu Electricity Board should be given to me, or I have applied for this tender and this tender should be allotted to me. Now, how does God come into the picture? Will he be able to give you a blessing saying that, okay, even if your tender is not the lowest, you will still be given the tender because you prayed to me? It can't happen that way. In fact, this goes a little against the definition of how we have ourselves defined God. We have defined God as saying that he has already charted your destiny and he already knows what's going to happen in your life. This is the popular definition of God according to most of the religions. There may be some ifs and buts, but if your destiny is already charted, then just because you prayed to God, will he change your destiny? And if he does, then that means he's committing mistakes. And in no religion is God is supposed to be an entity which cannot commit mistakes. So whatever he has decided for you, that is what will happen to you, irrespective of whether you pray or not. So prayers can't change your destiny. Otherwise it becomes contradictory with another religious concept that God cannot make mistakes. So there is a paradox involved here about what some people say, that you can pray in order to get something which you don't know whether God had destined for you or not. It also leads to another question. And this other question is that there are people, what about those who don't pray? I mean, there are some people who won't pray. I mean, other than atheists also. Atheists, of course, don't pray because they think there is no God. But there are many theists, that means people who believe in God, who are not used to praying. So if you don't pray, then will you not receive any blessings? This is another paradox comes into picture when you talk about receiving blessings from God by praying to Him. There are many people here. When I have discussed this topic with them, they confuse between praying and worshipping. So now this is probably the right time for us to differentiate between the two. What I might digress a little bit for a minute or two here or there, but because praying is such an important aspect of getting Aashirwads, because we get Aashirwads for ourselves through praying to God. And we get Aashirwads from elders, of course, but that is few and far between. And we need more Aashirwads than what those elders can give us. So all of us resort to praying to God. Therefore, I am spending a little more time than what you might have expected me to do on this aspect. That what is the difference between praying and worshipping? Many people think both are the same. They are not the same. According to me, praying is a one-on-one activity. Like you can pray to God and it's only a communication between you and Him. It could be anything, any other entity also. You could be praying to your late father's memory. I mean, I'm not saying every time you have to pray to God. Our parents were so dear to us. They have always been they've always thought of our well-being, that even after they pass away, we still feel that their memory will help me, achieve many things as it did when they were alive. So you need not always pray to God. You could pray to your uncle's memory, your aunt's memory, your mother's memory, your father's memory, because basically praying is a mental activity. It's not a physical activity. It's a mental activity. So whatever you can bring to your brain, that is the entity to which you pray. So you could pray to, but in all cases, I cannot pray to your father. I will pray to my father's memory because I don't even know your father. So how can he generate positivity or energy inside my mind? So therefore, praying is basically a one-on-one activity. It could be God, it could be memories of, as I said, well-known people, people who are very close to you. Worshipping is usually collective. Like when you go into a temple and do arti, or when in Maharashtra, for example, we have Ganpati Utsav. So every evening at home, everybody at home gathers together in front of the Ganpati Murti and we sing an arti. That is worshipping, that is not praying. So worshipping is usually collective and praying should necessarily be one-to-one. You can talk to God for what you think is right for Him. I cannot have a second person talking to the same God at the same time, at least not standing next to me. Now, he can, of course, talk to that same God from his house. But what I'm trying to say is that praying is normally 1:1, and worshipping is not. There are many people, who keep on saying that, you've not got results as a result of pray, you've not got good results from God because you didn't do proper worship. I have never understood the meaning of that sentence. What is proper worship? And what is improper worship? This again leads to one of those paradoxes. Like it did earlier, where I said, if your destiny has already been decided by God, then why will He change it just because you prayed to Him? That was a paradox. This is another paradox. What is improper worshipping and what is proper worshipping? Does it mean that God wants you to worship Him in a particular manner and only then He will grant you favors or grant you a boon? It's not so. Because if this was so, I'm always going on that concept that if this was so, then it would clearly mean that God has an ego. And we know that God is egoless. That's how religion defines God. That He is omnipresent, he has full knowledge, He cannot commit mistakes, He can be present at all places at the same time. Those are the words. I'm not using those words like He is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. These are the three words which usually describe God. And most of the religions ascribe their God with these three properties. And therefore, if you were to say that God wants you to worship Him in a particular manner in order to get that Aashirwad, then apparently the God has ego. Because He says, no, no, unless you worship like this, only then will I consider your request. Not possible. So therefore it leads us to a paradox. So therefore, according to me, there is no proper or improper worshipping. Whatever you think is the right way of communicating with your Almighty, or with whatever memory you are communicating with, that is fine, that is acceptable. So therefore, now there are many instances in our own mythology where prayers have been misused. I'm sure all of you know of it. I'll just quote one example. In Ramayana, for example, Ravan is supposed to have prayed for 10,000 years. 10,000 years. Now this is not my figure, this is a figure from Tulsi Ramayana. And what, because his mother told him, his mother told Rama, Ravan and your Kuber, they were half brothers. And Kuber was very intelligent, very rich, and he used to rule Lanka at a particular point of time. And Ravan told his mother, Ravan's mother was a Rakshasi. His father was a saint. But anyway, I'm just telling you the side information which is not relevant. Ravana told his mother that I want to become like my elder brother Kuber. And she told him there is only one way of doing it, and that's what he did. He went and got into a tapashcharya praying to Shiva. And that's what you should do. Then you will also get all the things that Kuber is supposed to have got. So Ravan started on a penance. Our mythology is full of such instances where people start on a penance and they do it for a number of years without eating, drinking or whatever. And then God appears and gives them a boon. This seems to be a standard method of. So Ravan started praying, and after every 1,000 years, he used to cut one of his heads and offer it to Lord Shiva. Now, when the 10th year came to an end, or was coming to an end, he had only one shira, that means one head left. So if Shiva had not appeared before him on the last day of the 10,000th year, then he would have cut his remaining 10th head and offered it to Lord Shiva, and then he would have died. And then what kind of a message would have gone to the society that look at this person, he did penance, he did prayers for 10,000 years, but God did not appear before him and did not grant him a boon. So Lord Shiva appeared. And then he said, okay, I'm happy with your this thing, please ask me for whatever you want. And of course then the story goes, I'm not wanting to tell you that story. I'm just telling you how prayer has been treated in our mythology. Ravan of course asked for immortality. And Lord said, Shiva said, I cannot grant this to you because it's against all rules of nature. And Ravan was a very intelligent guy. Ravan is one of the most intelligently evil characters of Ramayana. Very, very intelligent. Probably he had more intelligence than Ram also. Probably. There's no comparison anywhere but in the text. So he said, okay, if you can't give me immortality, then give me a boon that I will not be killed by either a man staying on earth or in Patal or in Swarglok or through any weapon, this, that and the other. So effectively he thought that he had got immortality without using the word immortality. So Ravan was a cunning guy. So he ultimately asked for a boon. Sorry, 1 second. Because Lord Shiva had said no to immortality. So he asked the same immortality but 10 different methods. Like our chartered accountants do while they are treating their tax returns of their clients, saying that, okay, you won't give us a deduction this way, okay, we'll ask it through that section. They know everything, so they will do it. For a moment, I'm not comparing chartered accountants with Ravan. This was just So, in our mythology, there are various instances of people praying and asking for a boon. And many a times those boons worked, sometimes they did not work. There is another very interesting aspect when it comes to asking for boons. Many of us are, very used to asking for boons for someone else. The most common instance is like, for example, my friend, let us say, is admitted in the ICU. Now, it's a very, very common thing for us to say, don't worry, I will keep you in my prayers today. That sentence is so common, a little bit of variation many people use. By that, what do they mean? They mean that when I pray to God today, I will ask Him to give you a boon. Now, this is a modification from what we have been talking till now. Till now, I was either getting a boon from an elderly person, but those were very few and far between. So I went and worshipped or prayed to God to get boons for myself. This is the third instance where I am getting a boon for someone else. Now, according to me, it's the same question. Does God consider you to be good enough to intervene on someone else's behalf? He has already decided the destiny of that guy who is in the ICU, whether he is going to recover or not recover or whatever. Why should he listen to you if you say that please make him better? I mean, what credentials do you have in order to intervene in the destiny that God has decided for that other person? So these, in English language, these are known as intercessory prayers. Intercessory. Intercessory, the word means that you are intervening on behalf of someone else. Now, this aspect has been studied by psychologists with great amount of research. Do these kinds of prayers work? Many of them have come to the conclusion that people who say this, that I will pray for you, they are doing it because that's the easiest thing to do. Praying is, according to me, the easiest thing, isn't it? I'm sure you'll agree with me. That praying does not require you to study, to get a degree, to spend time, nothing. You can just pray and you can say, may God, why don't you help XYZ who's suffering in this hospital? So it's I mean, I'm sure even people who love praying will agree that praying in any situation is always the easiest option. And what does this guy, the guy who is praying, actually is getting the benefit that, look, I have done whatever I could. I couldn't go to the ICU. I'm not a doctor, so I couldn't help him medically. There is no other help I can give because he has his family helping him in all manners. So what can I do as a close friend? So let me pray for him. So you pray and feel satisfied yourself that you have done the best that you could. So psychologists identify this feeling. They say there is some benefit in this. When you say that I will pray for you, they are not concerned about whether your prayer is actually going to work for him in terms of improving his health. They are saying you are benefiting yourself in a manner, not monetarily, but you are getting some peace of mind, saying that I did my best for my friend. I couldn't do anything else, so I prayed for him. So intercessory prayers have been analyzed tremendously because apparently all over the world, such intercessory prayers are done by all communities, and psychologists have long ago come to the conclusion that most of these intercessory prayers, that means the ones which you do for others, are for your own benefit. Once again, the benefit is not monetary, but the benefit is peace of mind, that I did my best, that I couldn't do anything else. So at least it's like saying a condolence message when someone dies. What does that condolence message do? It actually is meaningless. If you think about it deeply, the condolence message sent by a person who is not very well known to that person. If you were well known to the person, you will go to his house, you will commiserate with his family members. You will tell them that, look, what can I do to lessen your grief? But if you are a peripheral kind of a friend of that person, you are happy that, I sent a message, condolence message on WhatsApp, and that's it. I mean, what more am I expected to do? So all these intercessory prayers, I'm qualifying all them as intercessory prayers, they are, as you will realize if you think a little deeper, are for your own benefit, to make you feel good, to make you feel, actually the other person is in ICU, but you are wanting to make you yourself guilt free, saying that I did my best. Now, psychologists have also said, and religion also says this, that if you compare action, which we call karma, with prayers, then they said action is always far superior to prayers. If you take any action, you must take that action. If you ever have this dilemma about these two paths to follow, karma and prarthana, then always choose karma, because karma is likely to at least help that person in distress. Prarthana may or may not help. Actually, prarthana is helping yourself, feeling better than what you were feeling earlier. So this is the kind of a conclusion where psychologists are very clear in their mind that if there is a chance to choose between karma and prarthana, then choose karma. Okay, I am towards the end of what I am going to say, but I wanted to share with you. I'm sure you wouldn't have read about this kind of an experiment ever. If you have, then I'll take back my words. Apparently in 2006, now this experiment was carried out in America. In 2006, you all heard of John Templeton Foundation. John Templeton Foundation is an NGO which funds or finances various kinds of research, and they have financed this. And in 2006, it cost them something like $2.5 million. So it's not chicken feed. They have put a lot of money in trying to analyze this. But what did they do? They wanted to find out. Because there was no way to find out that suppose I wished you well, does it really happen like that? Suppose I wished somebody's health well, does his health really remain good? It's difficult to analyze. So they carried out a statistical experiment on a large scale. And this was the experiment. I'll just tell it to you in 3-4 minutes, and I'm sure you'll be happy to know that there are people and organizations who are carrying out such experiments. I somehow feel that in India also we should have some organizations funding such a kind of experiment. Not this one. There are many others which we can do. Anyway, so this was known as the John Templeton experiment. And what did it involve? It involved, they identified, I'm referring to the figures in my notes, 1,800 bypass surgery patients in 6 different hospitals in America. 1,800, so approximately 300 each in, let's say, 6 different hospitals. They wanted to find out that if these people were prayed for by someone else, then does it have an effect, some therapeutic effect on their health? I mean, do they recover faster? Does something good happen to them if someone prays for them? So they identified about 20 churches, because in America you have churches who are praying. So there are no temples. A Hindu Pandit will not pray for an American patient. And this was carried out in 2006. So they identified 20 churches. And this was what is known in statistics as a double-blind test. Double-blind test means the person who is praying does not know whom he is praying for. He just knows the name. And the person who is being prayed for does not know that somebody is praying for him. In statistics, this is called double-blind, so that there are no biases which are creeping in. Suppose I know that I am being prayed for, then maybe that positivity will probably make me, get better faster. So they didn't want any biases to come into such a study. But the only thing that they did was that they drafted out a standard prayer in which these 3 words were there. Otherwise, they left to the independent church, individual church, to decide what kind of a prayer they would like to say. But these words were common. May you have a successful surgery. So the word successful surgery was common. Quick, healthy recovery. This was common. And I hope you recuperate without complications. So they said you can pray in any manner that you want, in whichever words you want. Here is the list of people whom we are giving you, for whom you should pray. But in your prayer, these 3 terms must appear. Successful surgery, quick, healthy recovery, and no complications. You'll be surprised. I mean, this was a very famous experiment in 2006, and everybody was waiting, saying that what kind of a result does this experiment give? Because this was a completely statistical experiment. It was not it was not a religious experiment. It was not a sociological experiment. It was a statistical experiment to find out whether prayers give you the blessings that they promise to. Because prayers are basically for blessings. And if the prayers are effective, that means the blessings are effective. So that's how. Now they divided the 1,800 bypass patients into 3 categories. All this was on paper. 3 categories means of 600 each. People in the first category were told that people outside may pray for you. Please mark the words. I'm telling you exactly what the experimental papers say. That you may receive the prayers from people outside. And they actually received also. So the first category was such that they were told that somebody is praying for you. And somebody was indeed praying for them. The second category was told that somebody may pray for you, but their name was not given to anybody, so no prayers were directed towards them. And the third category was said that you are definitely going to be prayed for by people from outside. Various fathers and brothers in the church, priests, etc. are going to pray for you, and they actually did receive the prayers. Did receive means their names were given to the churches in order to be included in the prayers. This was again done, this methodology was done to find out, was there any difference between the people who were actually prayed for and the ones who were not prayed for. I'll just tell you the results because we don't need to go into other methodologies, but I have explained to you how the experiment was designed. And what they did was that they gave sufficient time and they only found out what percentage of that group, that means there were 600 each in those 3 groups, the patients. So they said what percentage of that 600 had complications in their next 3 months, or I am not sure about what they decided, but they decided on a certain time period. And they said now that they have been prayed for, let us see the percentage complications that they get in their medical life beyond the prayers. So now they said the first group is they were told that people might pray for you, but they actually were prayed for. They got 52% of those cases got complications. 52%. The second group, which was told that you may be prayed for, but they did not receive any prayers, they got 51% complications. And the third group, who were told that somebody outside is going to pray for you, and they actually received the prayers also. That means somebody did pray for them. This group got 59% complications. Now this was submitted to statisticians and this and that, and statisticians said that apparently, at least based on this experiment, the sample size was considered to be big enough. 1800 is a big enough sample size. They said at least based on this experiment, it appears that the prayers, whether they are being said or not being said, do not have any therapeutic value on the medical condition of these bypass patients. Now, when these results were published, obviously the people in the church, who were the religious people, they completely rejected these results, saying, no, you cannot intervene in the communication between the patient and the God. What is this third party, somebody who is not knowing the patient, who is praying for him? But they said, then that's what happens. Don't you pray for unknown people? Sometimes you do. And we are checking whether the prayer has had an effect. So this experiment is quoted time and again to tell people that apparently the Aashirwad or the blessings that you get even through prayers is not certain. It's a damadol kind of. I hope you understand the word damadol. Damadol means it's neither here nor there. So then finally we are at the end of whatever I wanted to tell you. My time is also up in another 5 minutes. Then should we conclude that there are no benefits of the Aashirwad which is being given, or the Aashirwad which you are seeking through prayers? Are there no benefits out of this? Now here psychologists are very clear once again. They said, no, there are benefits. But the benefits are not what you sought through your prayers. Through your prayers, you wanted a Mercedes. I mean, I'm just giving you again an exaggerated example. You prayed to God saying that, oh God, look, most of my friends have a Mercedes, but I can't afford a Mercedes. Please ensure that I get a Mercedes. No, this was what your prayer to God was. Psychologists are saying that you may not get a Mercedes, or at least not through the prayer. You might get it otherwise. But there are three distinct benefits that you get as a result of praying, or as a result of the Aashirwad and blessings that you get from elders or God. Now, obviously, the blessings that you get from God are not so clearly visible. So therefore, you can't clearly say that this was because what God gave me. But surely you can, identify the blessings that you get through your elders, because they have also wished you. They wished you probably that you should get a Mercedes. Your uncle said that, Prakash, I hope you get a Mercedes. And you felt so good, oh, this man is saying I should get a Mercedes and I will probably someday. So psychologists are clear in their mind that through the prayers or the Aashirwad that you get, you may not get the thing that was given to you as a blessing, or what you asked to God as a blessing to be given to you. But what you will get are these three things, and there is no doubt about this. Any Aashirwad or prayer leads to reduction of stress. You feel much less stressed as a result of praying or as a result of getting Aashirwad. It leads to reduction in fear. Many people pray when they are afraid of something. For example, if you are afraid of death, most of us are afraid of death. I mean, it's something which everybody is afraid of because it is uncertain. It will give you a lot of reduction in fear, and it gives you a lot of reduction in your feeling of loneliness. So stress, fear, and loneliness. These are the three things which reduce substantially as a result of either you're praying to God in order to get an Aashirwad, or by getting an Aashirwad from some other quarter. So this is the kind of conclusion that we are going to end this talk with. That it's not as if these things don't work. They work, but in a completely different manner, as I have just explained to you. That you will feel less stressed, less lonely, and less fearful. But you may not get that Mercedes for which you prayed for. So prayers are good if you want these three benefits. So thank you very much for giving me a patient hearing. I'd just like to spend 1 minute in telling you about my new forthcoming book, which is going to be published by the end of this week. While reading out my biodata, my first book did very, very well. It was called In and Out of the Box. My second book, which is at the printers and which should be ready by the following Monday, the title is Delightfully Different Thinking. That's the title of that book. Both of these books of mine contain short, crisp essays, many of which have already got published in Times of India, Economic Times, our local paper, the Hitwad, etc. They are all thought-provoking. So what I will do is, both of them are priced also very reasonably. I think the earlier book was available at 240 rupees. This new book is available at 320 rupees. This includes freight right up to shipment right up to your house. So I'll give you my phone number in case any of you are interested in ordering any of these. These are available on Amazon also. But the second book obviously is not available on Amazon yet because I have not yet posted it. But the first one is. My phone number you can note down for whatever it is worth. My number is 98230 42334. I am repeating 98230 42334. So if you are interested in any of this, just send me a message saying that I attended your talk and I would like to buy these books, and I'll then tell you about the other things that you need to do in order to get hold of these copies. Or you can contact Dr. Sharma or this organization, Mr. Narayanan, and they will help you get in touch with me. So thank you once again for giving me a patient hearing, and a hearty namaskar to you, all of you, once again.
Doctor, can you unmute yourself? Doctor, can you unmute yourself? I'm waiting for doctor. Okay, anyway, I think he's still got some net issues. Thank you, Mr. Prakash, for a wonderful and very controversial topic, I should say, and also very debating. And you challenge a lot of people and given them a lot of inputs. I think it will be fantastic discussions over that. Doctor, would you like to? I'll just make you co-host, and then you can just do a concluding remark. 1 second. Doctor's just got into the.
If there are any questions, I'll be glad to field them if there are any.
Doctor, unmute yourself. Doctor, unmute yourself. Dr. Sharma.
Yeah, if there will be questions, Sirji, I'm offering for open for discussion, please. One
Yes,
by one.
yes.
Can you please come up?
1 second. I'll just give the permission for people to.
Yeah,
open.
please. One by one.
1 second.
We were more interested to see about the discussion also, followed by the lecture.
Yeah, people can now unmute.
Yeah.
1 by 1. Yeah.
Anybody, please give your name.
People can put up their hands or they can start talking. Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
Whoever wants to ask question, please unmute. Otherwise, please be on mute mode. Whoever wants to participate in discussion, please unmute yourself. Otherwise, you can be on mute mode. Yeah. Doc.
What happened?
Yeah.
They're
They
not
can.
able to unmute. They're unable to unmute.
No, they can unmute. They can unmute.
Sundar Raman, start the program now. My God, what is happening?
1 second. Yeah. Sundar Raman is there. Okay. Anyway, let me put set the ball into the motion.
Yeah, please.
Prakash, thanks for your talk on this particular subject. If you were to say that blessings do not work, why are people still crazy going to temples and giving offerings and trying to, pull God into the whole life and trying to get the best of it? Actually, how can you get this instinct out of the people?
No, you really don't have to get that instinct out of the people. I would only suggest that people who go to temples in order to seek blessings from the Almighty should not feel that the Almighty will solve all their problems. There are definite advantages of praying in order to get blessings, and as I said, God may not give you what you have asked for. But that very process of going and praying in temple gives you a lot of relief. So there are some pluses in that also, as long as you understand that these pluses may not be the same as what I asked in my prayers. So I therefore don't want people to get out of the habit of going to temples and praying. Please go ahead and do it. But don't feel that those prayers are going to completely change your life and give you everything that you asked for. That is my point of view.
Thank you.
What next? Go ahead, Ma. Go ahead. Tell your name and go ahead. Let us not waste time, Ma. Be ready with your question and go ahead. Yeah.
ప్రోగ్రామ్ క్లోజ్ చేయాలి. ఇక్కడ లీవ్ అని వస్తుంది.
Anybody else?
Generally,
You మాట్లాడవి.
all blessings like a happy birthday,
చెవులో
happy
పెట్టుకోనంట.
New Year,
చెవులో
everything they are telling.
అన్ని చేయాలంట.
Most of the things
Connection
we
పోయింది.
third party telling
పోయింది,
we are
అట్టగా
not
నాకు
taking
పోయింది,
very seriously.
Doctor.
Can you please repeat? I didn't hear it.
Auntie.
Most of the blessings we receive generally, the good morning or the happy birthday, happy this, except one or two people we select and all. Otherwise, all other things are all, we are just taking it as a very routine. And we believe only in our own prayer to the God. The other third person praying for us, probably at the time of somewhere in bed or something, and they come and say that I have gone to temple and I have just to give this and all. That certain belief we get. Otherwise, in the normal course, third party praying for us is ruled out. It is not acceptable to this. Generally, we mind. As you said, if suppose we believe that whatever prayer this, it is not going to come, that will be very dangerous because then we will not go to the temple at all. But what we say, yes, it may not be 100% or something. Praying God is something we feel, as you rightly told, it is our fear and stress, everything to reduce only. That is the maximum that can be done. But sometime we feel, because praying will definitely give you a percentage of this drishti, gishti, everything they are doing, These are all on belief, and with that belief we will go there and this. But as far as the God is concerned, we think some Almighty is there, and some daily prayer and some emergency prayers and all may give some relief.
I agree with you. See, I have tried to differentiate praying and worshipping. Let me give you an example. For example, in Nagpur, there are no rains in the rainy season for many months. Now, there are many people who say, we have to now worship God in order to get rains. Now, according to me, God is not going to send rains because we know how rains come. There is evaporation of sea water, and then it is condensation, and the water falls on in our region. There is no role of God in that actually. But even then, when about 1,000 people get together in a ground and they publicly worship, saying that we must get rain in the next 10 days. Now, sometimes in the next 10 days, the rain actually comes. So, finished. That means the belief is strengthened. But suppose in the next 10 days, the rains don't come. Even then, this is the beauty of religion and God and all these concepts. Even then, people are not willing to blame God. They say, something must have gone wrong with us only. We did not pray properly. We did not worship properly, which is why the rains did not come.
Blame themselves.
So therefore, according to me, worshipping, and between praying and worshipping, according to me, praying is at a much higher level because you are doing a one-on-one communication with whatever you consider as the Almighty. Worshipping is 1,000 people praying at the same time. It does, according to me, makes lesser sense to me at least. But in both cases, the people who do the act feel a little better. Why? Because the people who prayed for the rains, those 1,000 people come home satisfied, saying that I've done my duty. Now if the rain does not fall, it's not my fault. And if the rain falls, look, I did, therefore it fell. Therefore it came down. So in either case, they are happy. But prayer is something much superior. It's a one-on-one communication between you and your Almighty.
Yeah.
Here again, there will be successes and failures. It's how you look at it is what matters.
Okay.
But Jayalakshmi, you want to ask question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Anyway, you did the statistics and all are okay. But I wish the Christian missionaries who come to the hospitals and pray for the patients, at least they should stop it. Because our Hindu priests and all, they won't come inside the hospitals and pray. I have seen. The Christians, at least they should stop. And in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Yagyavalkya and Maitreyi, big conversation happens. You might have read it. He says, everybody loves others because they are happy with them. Somebody gives you a coconut every day. If that lady is not there, you miss her not because of the lady. You are missing the coconut. You are unnecessarily telling that I am missing her. So everybody is happy for self. So as long as you are happy, you pray for that. So, but rains and all, I have seen so many times in Tirupati, it didn't rain so many times. I know big Ghana parties, they did homums. It rained like mad before the homum stopped. So there is nothing wrong. If you don't worship, if you don't get the benefit, it is like doing a wrong number and telling that I'm not getting connected. If you want to connect with something, you should get a correct phone number. Just like that, it is like that. It is so simple. So don't think everything is humbug. That is not correct. You must go to the real statistics and real Upanishads. Then you will find out. Okay.
No, I agree with you. This experiment was anyway not conducted in a Hindu surrounding. It was not conducted in India. It was conducted by churches and the Christian organization John Templeton. But I have one interesting shloka for you. After all this, I have mentioned this shloka in my new book, because ultimately then the question comes that when you go to God, what should you pray for? Should you pray for material wealth? Should you pray for mental peace? What should you pray for? So these two lines, I'll just read them out to you. According to me, that's the right way. Hindu philosophy tells us that if you want to go and pray to God,
that's all.
That also is there. But this particular says, this is what you should pray in case you want to pray to your God. And Hinduism says this, Anasayana Maranam. Vina Dainyena Jivanam, Dehanta Tava Sannidhyam, Dei Mama Parameshwaram.
Oh, that's all. Everybody
What
asks.
does it mean? Anasayana Maranam means please give me a as less painful death as is possible. Vina Dainyena Jivanam means please have very few difficulties in my Jivan. Dainya is difficulties. And give me company during my last moments. If at all you want to pray to God, this is what you should pray for, is what our Hindu philosophy says, which according to me 99.9% Hindus don't follow. They will go and pray for Mercedes only. They will pray for a contract.
No. Everybody, you may know, but I know many people, they ask this only.
They ask what?
What you asked only, all our people ask this only.
Anasaya Maranam.
Anasayana Maranam, Bina Dainyena Jivitam.
So it is good if there are more people who are praying just like this, that
that's what they ask. That's what
they are following principles of Hinduism. But amongst my friends, I don't find a single friend praying like.
Very unfortunate.
I know.
Try to mix with good people.
No, trying to mix with good people is a general instruction which every religion gives to all its followers. They never say try to mix with scoundrels. They always will tell you try to mix with good people. That's okay. I mean, nothing wrong in that. Okay, but they are saying that this is the only thing you should ask of God. These are the three things you should ask for God and ask nothing else. Now, Madam is saying that most of her friends do this. And I am an example here where most of my friends don't do this. So all of my friends, most of them are papis. Must be.
We are all doing this. We are all doing this. We are all praying for this only. I am daily telling this shloka.
Okay, very good. No, saying a shloka and meaning, really meaning what the shloka says are two different things. There are people who have shlokas by heart. They will say that without actually understanding what the shloka means.
No. I am praying with understanding only.
Very good, very good. Then I congratulate you.
Because it is not in our hands. This shloka is not in our hands.
Yeah.
That is why we will beg him.
Well, any other questions, please? Doctor, unmute. Unmute yourself.
Hello, this is Dr. Harinath speaking.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
It was a very stimulating, thought-provoking, this one, your lecture. And what I personally feel, one is Narayana's question, why you should go to temples. Temple is the basis of all our culture. This is where the ancient people, they do
they congregate, and also temples had a positive vibration from cosmic energy. Through that Kodimaram, it goes to the Sanctum Sanctorium. When you go there, you get a positive reflection because the yantras, yantras
మాట్లాడాలి ఇప్పుడు.
hello?
Doctor, please don't interrupt. Yeah, go ahead.
So, this is for the any prayer or any worship has a positive vibration.
Yeah.
If the intention is good, according to Newton's law of motion, whenever you have one action, there is a reaction. When you have a reaction is positive, the reaction also will be positive. When you please somebody, they will not do any grudge against you. It's all vibrations. The whole, what you call as a God, is only a cosmic energy. Unless you tune to 1 or 2 plus 1 per Virgi, you will not get it. So the idea, we have to tune to the cosmic the vibrations. So these are the few things I just wanted to share my thoughts.
Excellent.
Okay.
Very
Good.
well done. Very well done. Anybody else? Okay then. Narayana, can I go forward?
Yeah, go, sir. Go, doctor.
Going forward, the next will be announcement, please. Our next meeting is on Sunday, 22nd December at 5:30 p.m. Zoom. Repeat again. Our next meeting is on Sunday, 22nd December, 5:30 p.m. Zoom. The distinguished speaker is Dr. Akshay Sairam. Dr. Akshay Sairam, he is a qualified yoga trainer as well as a acupuncturist. She is conducting a lot of live programs on yoga and she is very popular. She has got her own consulting practice at Bangalore. She has agreed to talk to us on the next month. And the topic she has chosen is yoga and naturopathy for healthy aging. Again, referable to our own age group. Wonderful topic, useful topic. Yoga and naturopathy for healthy aging. This is the topic she has chosen. Let us all attend in large number and take the benefit of that. Now I call upon our Secretary Narayan to propose vote of thanks. Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Mr. Prakash Shesh, for a wonderful topic which has been chosen. As I told you, I still say it's a controversial topic. To be for that matter, debatable topic, not controversial, debatable topic. And it was what you said, it is one of the speeches of the 5th category, where it's going to be thought-provoking, and definitely there will be a lot of take-home from this whole session what we had. At least it has put a lot of people into the thinking mode. If they've been doing something blindly, I think they'll start thinking now, oh, what's happening? Am I doing right? Or am I getting the benefit? So that's one thing which is the take-home, which I also got. And of course, thanks to Dr. Harinath for his wonderful explanation, for which I have raised my query on going to temple. Thank you, sir. And thanks to all the people who have attended the function and who entered the meeting and also taken part. And of course, Zoom, which is facilitating to this thing. And of course, our president, who is roping our dynamic speaker into our forum to give his lecture. Thank you once again, and thank you for all the people for attending the meeting. All the
Narayan,
best.
how many participants? How many participants?
About 16 people now.
Do you want to go for an open mic session as you used to do now?